Okay, so I was planning on only doing the examples we did in class for the drawings online, but I realized we did have a lot of questions on number 3, which is this A right here. So I'm going to do this one together as well on here so you can have it as reference. Okay? With this one, you need to be really careful. You want to make sure that you are putting whatever pieces you can count first. Okay, so we know we can count this top part, so we're really going to start here. Okay, we can see that it's a diamond again. It's 2 up and 2 down. So we're going, our diamond is going to be lengthwise if we see it here. We don't want it stacked up vertically. Okay, when we start, we want to start with it. Again, it's going to be 2 up and to the right, and then 2 down to the right. And then we do the same thing on the other side. So we have this little diamond shape. Okay, once we have our diamond shape, if you noticed in the original picture online, it has this one line here, that coming down through the A, and that's the really big thing that we can actually measure. Okay, so from this corner we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces down from both of these sides. Okay, so if we do that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can just do a little mark there for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Alright, or if you want to add in a really light construction line, remember those are the really light ones that you just use to guide yourself, you can add those in too. Alright, when we look at this, when we got down to this point, we want to go down and to the right for this one, okay, like this. And for the other one, from this edge, we come straight down, then it goes up and to the left. Okay, so we go up and to the left for one, down and right for the other. Okay, that's how we get those edges of our A. Now, since it's a different angle, it's not actually on the grid, we want to know which pieces or what points we're connecting. When we look at this drawing here, we can see that it's the end, the outer edge of the line we just drew, connects all the way up to the side of the diamond. Okay, for the other one, again, it's the outside edge, connects to that middle point in our diamond. Okay, so this is when, if you have a ruler, that's helpful. If not, do your best. You're going to go from one point to the other one that you know where it goes, like this. Okay, so sometimes it might be easier to do like a really light construction line first to try and get the general idea of where it would go, and then darken it in. Okay, so these are the outsides of your A, just like that. So now if we look over here, we want to put the depth in. So we know it's 2 up here, so it's going to be 2 down here, since it's even. So down here we're going to say 1 and 2 across, and then we know that this point here has to connect to the last portion of our diamond. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to do our little light construction line first to make sure we get the line close to straight, and then we can darken it with our object line, just like that. Alright, when it comes to the inside, you need to be able to count as best you can. So if we notice in here, it goes up 1, 2 vertically, okay? And then it's not quite straight up, so it does go in some. So this in between here is almost halfway between these lines here. So we want to go up 2. So from here we go up 1, 2. So somewhere on this line. Okay, on here we do up 1, 2 again, so we know that it's this line somewhere here. But it's going to be kind of halfway between this one, okay, and like halfway into this one. Okay, so when we darken it, it's not quite to the ends of those little triangles. Okay, so it's close, but not quite. Alright, so that way we have some space to connect to that point down to the bottom, and this one down to the bottom. See, if we notice, this is about 1, this space here is about 1 still. Even though they're not on the edges itself of the grid, it's still about 1 across. Alright, when we do the center of our A, we notice from here it goes up 1 single space, and this is actually about 1 across, but in the halves. So we go up 1, so this space, about halfway through, about here, would be the bottom of our A. If we noticed from our drawing, it goes up 1, 2 more. So from here, 1, 2. We have our little line here, and we can connect, these edges. Okay, so we can connect those two sides, and we can connect these. Alright, last little bit, we can put these depth lines in. So this one's just going to be like this. So you want it to be parallel to these other lines that we've got, and this one's going to actually be on the grid. Alright, so this should be close. When we shade it, this one's a little weird. Usually, remember, our sides are very dark, and our front is the halfway, and the tops are blank. So the tops stay blank. The front is still going to be about halfway, but the sides, it kind of depends on your preference. Since these are pretty much flat to the side, these are usually still really dark. On this example here, I kind of shaded it part way, like a little gradient, and that's perfectly fine if you've chosen to do that. It's up to you, really. Pick one, either darken it all the way, like I'm doing for the inside here, maybe darken it all the way on the side, or do like a nice little gradient where it goes from really dark to a little lighter, since the top is on this side. Alright, so this is up to you. Just doing some basic, remember this is our tonal shading, just to show depth. Okay, so this is a little bit gradient, that's okay. Something kind of like that. And then the front would get your middle shade. Okay, that kind of half shaded, but not quite. Alright, so once we finish that, then we should all be done. Alright, just like that. Okay, so again, that's number 3 for 2.1.